Smoking weed while breastfeeding, the truth Steph Jenkins doesn't want to hear. Welcome back to that side of TikTok where we don't just watch the mess, we break it down with facts. And today, we're talking about Steph Jenkins proudly smoking weed while saying she's still breastfeeding. This isn't shade, this isn't mum shaming, this is science, and the science is loud. What actually happens when a mum smokes weed? Let's start with the basics. When you smoke weed, THC, the chemical that gets you high, enters your bloodstream within seconds. Now, here's the part Steph probably doesn't want to hear. Breast milk absorbs THC at an even higher rate than the bloodstream. Why? Because THC is fat soluble and breast milk is full of healthy fats. For a baby's brain development, meaning the milk literally soaks up and stores THC. Studies show THC stays in breast, cut milk for up to 6 days after a mom smokes. So while an adult might stop feeling high after a couple hours, a baby can be exposed to that same THC for nearly a week. How THC affects a baby's brain. This is where it gets serious. A newborn's brain is developing at the fastest rate it ever will. Anything that interferes with that process, even small amounts, can have long-term effects. Here's what researchers have found. In babies exposed to THC through breast milk, slower motor development, babies struggle more with movement, coordination, and strength, lower muscle tone. They can seem floppy, less alert, or slower reacting, poor feeding patterns. THC affects appetite and suckling, reflexes, sleep disturbances. Their sleep becomes chaotic, too much or too little. Possible long-term cognitive effects. Studies suggest potential impacts on memory, attention, and emotional regulation later in life. And let's be clear, doctors cannot ethically test drugs on infants, so the long-term damage is likely underestimated, not exaggerated. Secondhand smoke. The part most people forget. Even if she wasn't breastfeeding, secondhand weed smoke is still harmful. Babies have tiny lungs. THC travels through the air. If she's smoking indoors, in a car, or next to the baby, that child is inhaling it too. Secondhand weed smoke can irritate the lungs, increase illness, affect oxygen levels, expose babies to THC through inhalation. So whether it's in the milk or in the air, the baby is getting exposed. Why Steph's behavior is irresponsible. Now let's talk about Steph specifically. She isn't quietly smoking behind closed doors. She's filming it, posting it, laughing about it, talking about breastfeeding at the same time like it's all a quirky mum aesthetic. But here's the truth. You cannot treat breastfeeding like a TikTok trend and weed-like a daily personality trait. Parenthood means responsibility. If you're using a substance every day, you need to stop breastfeeding or stop smoking. It's that simple. The gaslighting and victim narrative. And the craziest part? When people call her out, she plays the victim. Suddenly it's, everyone's bullying me. Everyone's obsessed with me. Other mums do worse. No, this isn't bullying. This is people being worried about a baby who can't speak for itself. A baby can't choose what goes into its body. A baby can't decide whether to inhale smoke. A baby can't say no. That's why mums are supposed to protect them, not expose them. What doctors and health organizations say, and in case she wants to argue, here's what the professionals say. The NHS strongly advises against using cannabis while breastfeeding. The World Health Organization, WHO, condemns THC exposure for infants. The American Academy of Pediatrics says cannabis should not be used while breastfeeding due to potential neurodevelopmental harm. Midwives and lactation consultants worldwide all agree. Weed and breastfeeding, what's unsafe. The experts aren't arguing about this. Steph is the bigger picture. This isn't about a mum having a smoke. This is about someone putting a baby's development at risk for content, and the fact she films it proudly is what makes people speak up. Do you think Steph genuinely doesn't understand the risks, or does she just not care? Should smoking weed while breastfeeding be considered neglect or just bad judgment? If this was anyone else online, would people be reacting the same, or is Steph getting special treatment? Do you think social services should give guidance here, or is it none of their business? What would you do if you saw a friend breastfeeding and smoking daily? Speak up or stay out of it? Anyway, let me know in the comments. Do you think Steph genuinely doesn't understand the risks, or does she just not care? Because at this point, it's either ignorance or pure irresponsibility. So what do you guys think about this? Comment below and let's chat.